I want to go through this real quick. If you run into a pinch on a commercial door, or any door, I guess in particular, but look what's going on here. This thing's roached. Just roached. So a fix. Let's get these bearings, keep these bearings. Okay, let's try this again. So the way you do it is you use some leverage. This is actually holding this up right now. See how it's wobbling around? That's holding it. And then you gotta put these bolts or drill holes. This will hold the weight of it. Gotta get these bearings though. Keep them on your truck. Okay, like I said, it's loud in here again, but see I got that bolted in there? Like I said, it's a temporary fix. They want to replace the door. I gotta get some dimensions. I got it bolted. That's not the best, you know, right there, because there is clearance in there. But it's better than what they had. So it can be done, people. It can be done. If there's a will, there's a way. At least it's riding on something now, and it shouldn't wreck that shaft anymore. It's about ready to bust off. The whole shaft needs to get replaced. So, anyways, also, I'll take you over and we'll take a look at the keyway. I'll show you what I did over there, because that fell out, and that's what I think originally made the door fail. So we'll take a look at that in a second. Okay, so originally I'm sure this failed because this keyway fell out. So what I did is slam the keyway back in there, got these retightened, put these set collars on, boom. You'll never have that failure again. It might hog out the shaft and the coupler, but at least it won't fall and have a failure, especially for this old girl. That's what you gotta do after those split collars on there. Good way to fix them. Okay, so I think there's some things to actually learn from this job. You know, and this is just, it's just those things when you're at the job that goes through your brain that, and I could be totally wrong with this, but I have a feeling that my technicians have touched this door before. Could be totally wrong. I don't know. But there's a couple things. As a technician, I understand, and this just goes for everybody. This is like I'm talking to myself. You know, I know this in the back of my head, and I'm totally guilty of. You know how it is sometimes. You got to rush through things. You're trying to get to the next service call. You know, but I hear a common theme across the garage door world that is, you know, well, they need something, but I'm going to give them a price, and you know, then they'll go from there. We always have to remember that when it's broke, it's a problem. You know what I mean? It's like your time to strike. And I'm not saying like to bend somebody over the coals or anything. It's just like, I didn't have to put that bearing on. I could have thrown some lube on it, told them, said, hey, we really need to get replaced. But let's just say the maintenance guy, he's got a million other things going on in his mind, right? He's got machines breaking down, he's got roofs leaking, he's got a ton of things going on. So I spent probably an extra 2-3 hours here doing extra stuff to make sure the door should at least survive a year or two before, if we can get back. Now he wants to replace it, but I've been down this road before. We're going to, you know, quote it. It's gonna be a number that they look at, you know, a piece of paper, and they go, oh, and then the door still goes up and down though, right? It's like a car, you know what I mean? It's like a car. Like your car still runs and still goes. You're just going, gosh, I don't know. But then when it breaks, right? That's when you just get, God, I wish I would have sold this thing. You know, now it's going to cost me $2,000, $3,000 for a transmission, and I should have never put the money into it. Blah 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 blah. You know, or you know, that's just how it works. So you got to remember, it's not a problem until it breaks. So right now, today was their day, man. I went through that door and I oiled it. Put split collars on it, I put a bearing on it, got a little extra love, you know what I mean? But I had the time, so I did it, you know what I mean? Now, if I had 3 more service calls to go to and people are broken down, and then it might be a little bit of a different story. But I think what I'm trying to get to with the point here is that do what you got to do while you're there, because the door is open. Right? The door is open to come in. Please help me. You know what I mean? Fix my door. Make it right. Make it work. Right? It's kind of like the mechanic, right? If he does a Band-Aid on it, you're just going to keep driving the car. I mean, you know you shouldn't, but most people will just keep driving it because they go, I don't know, it's still working. But then when it leaves them stranded up north on a camping trip, and they get all frustrated and mad, that's when they go, oh, I guess, now the time, fruitioned, came to reality, and now I need to take it. Now you got to pay a tow bill, right? So it's just like with this garage door. It could have a catastrophic failure if I don't fix that bearing. The shaft is about ready to shear off. So is it the way I really wanted to fix it? No, but I'd have to go back to the shop. I'm only one man today because the other guys are working. I just had to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? So this will at least get them by. The shaft is still enough, I think, there that it won't shear off. And now at least it's got a rolling surface instead of metal on metal. So it's just some things for you guys to think about. Just remember, take your time. You know what I mean? And be smart. You got to be safe. Yeah, and you'll get through it. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? I used to get all, flustered back in the day, when I have to rush through things and stuff like that. But now, it's just not worth it. Don't take shortcuts. Just do it right, because it'll pay off in the long run. There's enough scammers in the world. There's enough people that take shortcuts and put band-aids on things. There isn't enough craftsmen. There isn't enough good, loyal craftsmen, men, that will honor their word and take care of things and do the best that they can do, versus I just got to get out of here and go to the next, and sorry about your luck, have a good day. I got it, so it's moving. Don't do that. That's just bad work ethics. It's just, it'll catch up. You know what I mean? I'd always rather somebody remember that, hey, he did a good job. You're hoping that even if they hire your competition, that they probably will slip up, and then that person will sit there and go, the other people always took good care of me. They were courteous. They were nice. They did show up. They did a good quality job. That's all you got. You got service. I was told this once. Maybe I've said it before. I don't think I have. I was working at a place once, and they told me, they said, you can get a cup of coffee anywhere, but it's the service that brings you back. When you come in the door and somebody mentions your name or says, how you doing today? Now, I mean, I get that, you're getting crappy coffee all the time, that, you might not. But if you get a nice person that greets you in the morning, and maybe they correct something if you do tell them, you're going for the service. You know what I mean? We can buy these products. They can buy stuff. They can do stuff. I mean, this guy had the door already partially put back together. And, but, he knows his limits, and, it needed a few things. It did actually, talking about limits, it needed some limit nuts on it. They weren't quite as bad, but I replaced them because he mentioned it, and he said, I think they're getting bad. So that's fine. They weren't totally shot. They weren't totally brand new either. So I did it, you know what I mean? But that way he feels, you got to listen. You got to listen to what the customer's saying. And like, he had that quiver. I call it quivers. He had the quiver of, hey, the limit nuts aren't, this and that. Not a problem. I'll change them out if I have them. Take a look at it. Change them out. Like I said, could have let it fly, but it's an extra cost. It's extra labor, and you get paid for it. You know what I mean? And it's not to say, like, if it wasn't 100%, nothing wrong with it, just to do it, just to make a buck. But it's good maintenance. Garage doors and gates need a lot of maintenance. They really do. People neglect them. You know how it is. Anyways, I'm rambling on. I'm going to get to it. I'm ready to get lunch. Already spent half the day here. So, hope you guys learned something. Take care. Be good craftsmen out there. And subscribe. Hit that like button on your way out if you don't mind. Talk to you later. See ya.